Hey, what's going on with y'all? Fellas, ladies, what's good? It's good to be back. It's good to see y'all again. You know what I'm saying? It ain't been so long since I've been gone this time. A couple more days, came back here. Can't be gone forever. I'm never going to stop doing videos for a long time. Don't ever think I will. Just right now, I've been handling some things, life's chores and doing what I got to do. Stay on my feet, and just keep doing what I'm doing. Keep grinding. And that's what y'all need to keep doing. Keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? Because this situation that you're having, it may seem like you're suffering, but I'm telling you right now, you're not going to suffer forever. I promise you that. Because I myself, as I said many times before, have suffered from weed panic anxiety, some of the worst weed panic attacks you could ever imagine. I'll discuss some of the symptoms I had with you. Like, I don't know if I told you or not, but one time my heart actually was having a twisting sensation. I don't like to discuss that too much with people because they're like, damn, is that something that can happen to me? Don't know that. I doubt it, but I'll tell you this. The symptoms that you have from smoking marijuana, right? That are just anxiety symptoms that's like caused by massive amounts of stress or overload of fucking stress. There's tons of stress weighing on your back. It's gonna hurt you. You're gonna feel physical pains from it. It may not be like you're actually lifting up stuff and doing things like that to strain your back, but it's almost gonna feel like the same thing. It's almost like an endurance of mental fucking stress that you're carrying, overloads of it, pounds of it, and you can't even lift up this weight, but you're trying to lift up something. You're doing more reps and you're doing way more reps than you should be doing, trying to get buff faster or something like that. But instead, this is some other shit that's fucking you up and it's turning you backwards, and it's not making you look any better. A lot of the times you're stressing out. You're doing a lot of things that you don't want to be doing on a regular basis. It's causing you to not be able to do the things you used to be able to do. And it's kind of sad and it hurts you. You're like, man, back in the day, man, I used to be the man. In high school, I was smoking weed all the time. When I was 14, me and my homeboys was passing J's. We was doing dabs, all this shit, blah, blah, hitting the bong, you know what I'm saying? 4 blunts, eating space cakes, all this type of shit, all types of edibles, and you never had no problem with it. So why are we having a problem now? I can tell you why. There's a lot of different things that are going on in your life that you're not understanding yet, and you haven't been able to take that problem and actually face it instead of ignoring the problem. Never ignore a situation or a problem that you're dealing with, especially if it's happening to you mentally. Because if it's happening to you mentally, it's going to start to hurt you physically. Believe that. It's going to happen. It's a symptom. It's a side effect like any other thing and any other drug you take or any other thing that happens in your life that may be a situation that can cause you to have stress, panic, and a form of terror. But trust me, you're not going to suffer forever. I promise you that. Now, situations when you're having bad symptoms and side effects, they can get worse. But I tell you one thing, the good thing about that is that you can also make things get better, and they can only, you know what I'm saying, they can only get better if you work on them to get better. If you keep focusing on things getting worse and shit like that, trust me, it's going to go worse. It's going to get worse. It's going to go downhill. It's going to fucking go down there real fast. It's going to crash. You have to be careful. You have to take it step by step. You have to be strong. Watch, identify what's going on with the problem. Understand this so you're able to get past it and you can beat it. Once you're able to surpass this thing, you're not going to have to keep looking back or think about that negative shit before you take a hit of that blunt, before you take a puff of that joint, before you're sitting there with your homeboys on a regular day of some shit that you always used to do, now you can't do it no more. And why is that? You're almost backing away from something that scared you fucking straight. And I understand. It's scary when that happens. Those kind of symptoms make you never want to go back. I know when that happened to me, I stopped smoking for a good long time. 4 or 5 years, I think I stopped smoking. I take a hit of the blunt every now and then, homeboy passing around. Let me just get a hit of that while I'm drinking something. Just in case something happens. And if I have some alcohol in me, usually I won't care about it. Now, why won't I care about it if I'm drinking alcohol and I'm drunk? A lot of the time, people are drunk, they go outside screaming out nonsense, talking shit in the middle of the street, ain't gonna do nothing, but they think they're bigger and they got this liquid courage now. And all of a sudden, they got wings to do whatever the hell they want. And they think they almighty God out this bitch. But they not. They're just a man just like me and you. And ain't nobody tougher. You know what I'm saying? They're out there doing this shit. They got all this courage that they never had built up before because of a alcohol beverage. Kind of like boosted their confidence to do whatever they want. You can do the same thing without having to force alcoholic beverages inside of your body to make yourself have confidence. Force confidence. There's nothing worse than that. Making yourself have some kind of courage to do something. Drinking and take a couple of shots before you talk to a girl. Sometimes it's okay to have a couple of shots, something like that, to loosen you up. But at the same time, it's like you can do the same thing without having to do that. There's a lot of people out here who don't got to get high, don't got to get drunk, don't got to do things like that. And I'm stating that because I'm also not encouraging you to go do something that You know what I'm saying? If you don't smoke or something like that, I'm not trying to tell you or make it seem like it's something cool to do. Because obviously, if you're watching these videos, this is something you've been doing for a long time and you're here for a reason, to find answers. You have to pay attention to the triggers that are happening. I can't stress that enough. The triggers are very important. A lot of these marijuana panic attacks you're having, marijuana anxiety attacks if you may, are happening because they're also triggered by a paranoid state that you're having while you're high on weed. Paranoia can come out of anywhere. For instance, I was one time playing a video game having a pretty bad panic attack. Now, when I say these are years ago usually. I don't have these very often. Even when I do, I ignore them. And they go away very fast. And I'm going to tell you how they go away fast. Because I made myself not pay attention to them as much. I made myself be like, fuck this. I know I'm just high. This was not doing this before. Why is it doing it now? I went to see many doctors about my heart for no reason. I've seen specialists. I've seen all types of different doctors demanding that they go do a second checkup on my heart. You know what I'm saying? Another EKG because they're not finding what I think they need to be finding. And who the fuck am I to be telling these people that? I don't know nothing, but I'm over here trying to go over their word, over they telling me, okay, everything looks good, everything, a little bit of irregularities, but everything's going to be okay. It's a normal thing that you're having. People be saying, they yell all these symptoms of things I could be having, my heart almost scaring you more. They be like, could be this, could be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be thinking, damn, I'm only 20-something years old, I might have a heart attack and die, but it ain't going to happen. But you be telling yourself enough that you might believe it. You start to believe that shit, and it holds you back. When you start to do that, your mind can play tricks on you. Your mind's so powerful. If you tell yourself something enough, especially negatively, you're going to think that way, and the outcome might happen. And that goes in a lot of different situations. Now, look at when you do something positive for yourself. When you say something positive to yourself, you're like, I gotta get this. I gotta do that. I gotta get this. You know what I'm saying? When you're telling yourself things like that, your journey right now is to go out and get what you just want. You're gonna conquer the thing that you want to go get. Do the same thing that you do with that negative shit and put all that built up energy into that and put it into the positive things, man. You got to do that with that stress. You got to tell yourself that I can beat this. I can do this. You got to be careful, though, with breathing exercises and things of that nature. Breathing exercises are perfect. They're fantastic. It's the correct way to go if you're having bad panic attacks. Taking slow breaths, meditations, things of that nature, a good diet. Those are fantastic things to do. But don't meditate on the wrong shit. Because you can meditate and focus on the bad symptoms you're having and make this shit sound worse. Make it seem worse. Start taking slow breaths. Closing your eyes. And you know what you're doing when you're closing your eyes? You're focused on how fucking fast your heart beating and how your mind is racing. You start focusing on the wrong thoughts instead of actually trying to focus on thoughts that are like, you know, like relaxation. Everything's okay. Not focusing on how fast your heart's beating, counting that shit. And once you start doing that, you ain't going to be having your eyes closed for about 10 minutes before you freak out and get up and start making it worse. Walking around, telling people, nah, you don't understand. This ain't, you know, you never had this before. I'm going to die, blah, blah. You got to take me to the hospital now. You start freaking the fuck out. I know. I've done it. Because you're scared. Straight. Because you keep telling yourself that and you're making the shit worse. Imagine if you're telling yourself all these good things when you're laughing. You're asking, yo, tell me more jokes, blah, blah. Turn the movie, rewinding the part again because you want to keep laughing. You're chasing that exciting feeling that you used to have that you want to have now. You're chasing that. You want that. That's what you want to happen. You want to feel good. You want to laugh. You want to enjoy your time. You want to enjoy your high. You don't want to be blown by no panic attack and shit like that. It's just a waste of time. So do that, the opposite of the shit that you're doing now that's causing you to think that way, that's causing you to fucking go downhill and crash. You need to do it and apply it to somewhere better that's going into the right direction and getting you to the place that you need to go. You have to do that. I can't stress that enough. Now, when I say that you can be triggered by the paranoid thoughts you have in your brain when you're smoking, it don't take nothing. But I'm over here playing this video game and all of a sudden I'm playing the same game I play all the time. This is some years back. And the background has this fiery blaze. Now, I never really paid attention. But when I was high, it got real intense. The fire was coming out of the screen. And that happens. That's like a natural feeling when you get high on almost any drug. Things start to pop out. They start to intensify more. All of a sudden, now you're freaking out towards the shit. You smoke some heavy sativa, starting to trip a little bit. Your mind's starting to tell you things. I'm telling you, it only takes like 1 second for you to be like, damn, that was... Think some negative shit and it starts going more and escalates into some more shit. You start telling yourself these things. That's what you're doing to yourself. It's not the weed that's doing that shit. The weed just intensifies the feelings that you're having times 3. So you can only imagine how these panic attacks are getting worse because of what you're telling yourself constantly, over and over, wondering why you can't smoke that blunt like you used to with your homeboys. Wondering why you gotta run into that fucking corner and hide and shit in your room, taking one puff just to go in the bathroom, running the cold shower, trying to do everything you can to stop yourself making the shit worse. Hyperventilating now that you're taking a cold shower. Those things can work in extreme cases, a cold shower, because when you're in a cold shower, the only thing you're gonna be thinking about is how cold the fucking shower is. You're not gonna be paying attention to your heart. But when you get out the shower, guess what's gonna be happening? You're going to be fucking shivering. Now your shit's worse now. Now your heart was beating fast and you have all these other symptoms. Your mind's racing, heart's racing. Now you're cold and you're hyperventilating and you're freaking out more now. You almost feel like your body temperature's getting all low and shit. You just made it worse. And this is gonna go on for the next hour and a half if you don't calm that fucking shit down. Stop telling yourself all that stuff and stop doing all the wrong things. Taking a walk is beautiful, man. Even if it's not all that great outside, just take a nice walk and enjoy the nature. Do things that make you happy. Understand that these symptoms that you're having, a lot of times it is a fast heartbeat. It's just the same symptom as you running or doing some over, you know what I'm saying, endurance in yourself to make yourself have a, you know, for a positive thing. But now instead of taking that something that's negative from, you know, you just sitting down smoking weed, I understand you're sitting here, you're like, how is my heart beating so fast? And I'm just sitting here. This never happened before. Probably was happening before you weren't paying attention to it. Heart's starting to pound a little bit more. Things in your life have changed and you got to get used to these new obstacles that are coming forward to your life. You have to. Once you can understand these things, you can conquer them. See, when I saw that thing in the video game and the fires were just poking it made me freak out. But what the fuck for? Because the game design looked a little bit more beautiful because, you know, it's intensified now. I'm tripping out. The fire ain't going to do nothing to me. Why am I even freaking out about that shit? That video game ain't going to come out and do shit to me, but I'm freaking out of that shit. You can freak out. It don't take nothing but someone to say something stupid to you for your whole mindset to get fucked up. But you have to overpower that shit. You have to fight back. You have to be the one in charge. You have to be the one in charge and really control your mind and turn it back to the right place that it's at. You know, you can't turn the clock back. You can't reverse time. And, you know, you can't do those things. You can only move forward. But now you just got to move forward and then retrain your brain. That's the beauty of it. You can still do that as life goes on. And you can catch up with everyone else. Just keep trying. You can make it through it. See, at first, I wasn't relying on those anti-anxiety pills. I took a diazepam, and that worked for me. That was the one pill that did work for me. But you know what? I didn't have to rely on that pill for the rest of my life. I took it a couple of times. And I made myself not have to focus on that shit anymore. I knew that was the key. And once I found that pill can stop it, then I knew it was just anxiety. It's the only thing it could be. It can't be my heart now. Because it ain't got nothing to do with my heart. It's just calming those anxiety factors. Because that's a symptom, making your heart beat fast and all other shit. A lot of that stuff comes from extreme anxiety and a panic attack. That happens from that. Trust me. When your adrenaline starts going, all those things start happening. Those same kind of symptoms. And they have a lot of different pills for that you'll pop in a second, even though you don't know the dangers of some of those pills. You got to be careful what you take. I don't take nothing like that no more. When I have a panic attack, I do the best I can to make that shit go away by doing something I enjoy doing. Making videos. I've had a little bit slight panic attacks and made videos, and it went away during the video just to show y'all that it's going to be okay. I don't do them often because I never have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's times when I don't smoke weed for like a week and a half and I get a little bit nervous before I smoke. And that's usually when I get the panic attack because I'm thinking negative shit before I even get into the battle. It's like going into a boxing match and I walk in, I'm going to lose, I'm going to get knocked the fuck out. Of course I'm going to lose because I keep telling myself that and I'm almost believing it. And I'm going to believe it more when I see it on the daily paper the next day and when my ass is on that fucking camera, knocked the fuck out. Because I wasn't confident in myself. You got to rethink things through, man. You gotta redirect. Stir things into a more positive direction. Because right now it's in a whirlwind and it's going all over the fucking place. Just taking you to the wrong places. And if it's there, you can get there and you can stay there for a long time. If you venture off into the dark too much, that's where you're probably going to end up staying if you don't take your ass back and follow the light. Just go back to a positive environment. Stay around positive people. And those things will bring positive outcomes. It's going to do that. Tell yourself the right things. Be more confident in yourself and stop beating yourself up. We do that a lot. I've done it before. I still do it to this day, but not in situations like that. But we all do it. And you're doing it even worse when you're having these marijuana anxiety attacks. And they fucking suck. Nobody wants to have them. But they can't stop because I used to get them bad. And I told you, I never had a symptom like that ever again. I didn't back down. I didn't stop. I just kept going. I figured out there is a solution for this, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to stop this. It don't take nothing but you to be a little bit paranoid. You're something so stupid. You think you hear the door knocking and your heart starts beating fast. You know why that happens? Because it's a symptom of being paranoid. You're nervous. You're scared. Your heart starts beating a little bit faster. The same thing that's going on now when you thought of some random shit that just popped into your head. Or thought something touched you. You ever been so high you thought you felt something touching you? And then when you thought that, you keep thinking everything's touching you now? Because you just intensify. You're making your mind believe that, you know what I'm saying, there's more than what you actually saw. You see one bug. You start freaking out. You see 3 bugs. Now you all of a sudden you keep seeing bugs everywhere because now you're freaked out to that shit and you're just making your mind believe that. But it's not true. That can go in a lot of different situations. You can intensify a lot of things that may not be what it seems like, but it's actually what's happening at the same time. Part of it, but you're making it worse. Just gotta think more positive. You gotta do things the right way. If you're gonna do breathing exercises, do them the correct way. Don't focus and meditate on the wrong things, like negative side effects. Breathe and focus and meditate on the positive things in life and positive energy, and you're gonna be okay. I promise you that. You might not even have to rely on anti-anxiety medication no more. Stop giving them your money. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be okay, I promise you that. I ain't gonna keep y'all too long, man. I just wanna hit y'all with some positive words here, man. Some things I was thinking about. Maybe you can carry this on. I hope this will help. You can always check out my other videos as well. Got plenty more other topics as well. And check them out, man. I hope these are able to help you out. And I know it's helped out a couple people, and that makes me happy. I'd like to thank all 800 and more plus of y'all for subscribing to me. All the new ones, please like and subscribe if you do like the channel. Because, you know, I appreciate it. And I appreciate y'all too. And I'm going to stay tuned. I'm going to be making more. So y'all take it easy out there. Be safe and peace out.